Mayflom here, and I'm trying to use, I've got some partially used pieces of paper here, and I'm trying to come up with a way to kind of fancy up. I have some little gifts for some girls coming over for a party, and I want to just give them some candy, but maybe in a little more interesting way. So what I have come up with is something I love to do, which is just very simply using my scrapbook paper to make party favors, to make little gifts, to put a homemade touch on something inexpensive. So to start off with, I've got my biggest piece. This one happens to be 7 inches because I needed it to fit this box of red vines. And I'm just going to use a tape runner, use double-sided tape, whatever you've got, and put the first layer on. Now what I like to do is I like to build from here, okay? So everything that I do on here, the whole thing will actually slide on and off. I like to mix up straight edge with, for example, this one has a cut edge, and you might notice that my paper's bent. For these layers, because of the way that this box is, what I'm going to do is just kind of, I'm not going to do a hard fold, I'm just going to kind of with my fingers run along there to make sure that things fit. Now these are 12-inch strips of paper, but I don't actually need the full 12 inches. So all I'm doing is cutting off one side, not even worrying if it's straight, putting my adhesive down, and then folding the other side over. Now these two layers are not connected, but I'm really not worried about it, especially since I intend to give this to a kid, so I know it's just gonna get ripped right into. Now for this, just take a strip. This one is about 1.25 inches. You could do different sizes. I went like so, and then just trimmed off the ends, and look at this. Now we can start going in the other direction. I like to mix and match the directions of the papers, and you might notice all the papers here are from the Shimelle paper line for American Crafts. However, they're certainly not patriotic papers. They're not necessarily any one kind of anything. I'm just playing with, I just went through and found anything with some reds or some blues, and I'm just running with that. And I'm even going so far as to tear off the little tear strips and use those. So what I have here, my little bow here, take a strip, so easy, and just overlap it, put a little adhesive here, overlap, fold, and you've got a little bow. And that's what I've got right here with this one. Now what I'm trying to decide here, I don't like the stripes for that. I have another tear strip right here. Look at that. I like the look of this. So what I am going to do, first I'm going to put a little adhesive in the middle here for my bow so that it sticks. Then what I'm going to do here is start on the back, and I'm pretty much in the center. I'm just really not going to worry about exact center. I am going to put a little adhesive on here, and as I kind of go along here, and just kind of add a little adhesive here and there. Again, folding it on there. And I didn't go quite straight. Oh no, don't worry about it. If you didn't get it quite perfect, you can usually just adjust. And that's certainly the case for mine. The other thing you can do is go through, and if it's not perfectly straight, you can always adjust for that. But boom, just like that. And I can puff this part out. Now, I'm going to want to do like a big button right here. I think a dimensional button would be great. But another thing I'm going to do is some of these little scraps that I've got here, we don't want to waste them. I never want to waste them, but I also never want to keep scrap paper just sitting around. So I just got out some basic star punches, and I don't keep a lot of paper punches on hand, but I do like to keep basic shapes like hearts and stars, also some butterflies and such. So we can punch a few stars, and then all I'm going to do is some of them one side, some of them the other, just again with some tape runner, and I can layer some of them. I don't have to layer them all, but we can play around with this. This is just so much fun, you guys, and this one's got kind of a patriotic flair to it for me with the red, white, and blue. However, like I said before, they don't have to. You could do any number of themes for any party, and if you want to give these, maybe you just want to give it to a neighbor, maybe you want to have it as a party favor like I am, maybe you just want a get well package and you want to tie it all up. This could be a big box of stuff that we were decorating the entire gift box. Doesn't have to be wrapping up candy, although that's what I happen to be doing here today. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. All I'm going to do is find a couple buttons and glue those buttons on, but otherwise we are done here, and I will show you a couple examples after this so that you can check out even more. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment. I will see you next time.